Guys, it's been one thing right after another with our Chevelle build. When we put the motor in this car for the first time, we went and made a couple of passes and ended up spinning a rod bearing. So we brought it back, pulled the motor out, completely rebuilt that thing from bottom to top, went and made a couple more passes and ended up blowing a head gasket. So now we have it back here, we've got the motor out, and we've been struggling to get the right parts. It seems like every time we order them from the parts house here, we always end up getting the wrong parts. Amazon did what O'Reilly Auto Parts couldn't do.
What you mean?
So we ordered the same gaskets from O'Reilly's twice for a small block 400. They sent me the wrong one both times. Ordered them from Amazon? Correct, first shot, absolutely perfect.
Well, how do you know that?
So look at the size here. Look at the size difference.
Yeah, it's quite a significant,
see that? Yeah.
Significant difference.
I just don't think this would have worked on that whenever this is the right one.
Yeah, that would probably be a little bit oversized.
Yeah, I think the only issue, and it's actually in the directions from Felpro, is that the small block 400 actually has steam holes in the block, but they're not in the gasket. So in the directions it says, if I have steam holes, I have to drill the steam holes. So I gotta drill the steam holes.
Well, luckily that won't take too long.
Not at all. So we'll drill these steam holes, get these gaskets on, we about to bolt some heads on.
Okay, so we got the heads on. Currently torquing down the bolts.
Finally, so we're doing the first round out of what will be 3 rounds of torquing them down to 25, then we'll go to 50, and then we'll go to 80, which will kind of get us where we want to be. That'll be like the last round.
Yeah, well, we're currently doing the 25 right now on this side. We've already did 25 on that side.
Yeah, so we're getting this knocked out, but yeah, it's been a long time working toward this, man. We've been wanting to get these heads back on here for a while. It just hasn't worked out.
That could have been on last week if, you know,
we got the right parts.
If we had the right gaskets, but
yeah. I've had some people tell me, man, they're like, man, if you'd hurry up and LS swap that thing, you wouldn't have a problem. You know, you wouldn't have to deal with trying to find old parts. You could just get LS parts, be done with it.
True, but like we said last video, this drivetrain is sentimental.
Yeah, man, so this motor actually means a little bit to me. So this motor, I think I mentioned it last video, but this motor was built by my papa like 25 years ago, man. And so there's a lot of people that are watching the channel that may not know it, but I was actually raised by my papa, and he raised me around this old stuff, you know, hot rods, race cars, things like that. And anyway, he passed away in 2021, and so around that time, we actually almost thought about just quitting messing with this stuff altogether. But anyway, me and him made plans to put this thing in this car, and so after he passed away, like I almost didn't do it, but then we just kind of went through with it. So, you know, because of that attachment to it, the motor and the transmission, you know, he had raced this motor, I had raced this motor, and he was the one that built it. I don't know, it just means a little too much to me to want to replace it with
and then once, you know, we start the Novas eventually, because that's going to be a future project of ours.
Yeah, we'll get a little more into that.
Yeah, that's going to be a foreshadowing type deal, but this drivetrain is going into his, ain't it?
No, it's actually going to stay in the Chevelle. Okay. Yeah. So it's in the Chevelle, and it'll probably go into something else later on, but I don't know. For now, it's going into the Chevelle because that's what we talked about doing with it. So anyway, I don't know. The thing just means a lot to me. It means more to me than some LS.
Yeah, this car could be a 20-second car. It's going to stay.
Yeah, it just means something. So anyway, but yeah, good to see it going back together, and I know he'd be proud. This is pretty much the first time I went through doing all this by myself, because that was, you know, he was teaching me how to do all of it, and I don't know, this was the stuff that we did together, man. And so whenever, you know, when he passed away, it was one of those things where, you know, that was our thing. I almost don't want to keep doing it. I don't want to do it by myself because it's not the same, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
And if you watch like some of the earlier videos of the square body, you would see him in there. You know.
Yeah, he actually shows up in a lot of those videos, but he would I think he'd be stoked with what we're doing with this stuff, and I think he'd be excited to see this car together and actually see this motor running again.
Oh yeah. They are officially on, brother.
Heads are on, torque down.
Torque to 80 pounds.
Torque
3-step
80
process.
3 steps, even from middle all the way to the outside. So everything's good, bro.
They're pretty tight, weren't they?
They are pretty tight. 80 pounds is a lot.
It is a lot. You struggling a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a couple times where those studs would actually like turn a little bit in there. It's like, oh no, did righty tighty just become righty loosey?
Well, it in fact just kept getting tighter and tighter, and it became righty tighty.
Yes. So we are good. Heads are on now, which is actually the part that I've been dreading, which was putting these push rods back in, putting the rocker arms on, adjusting valve lash, and all that good stuff, because I usually had somebody to help me with this. So
First time for everything, brother.
time for everything. I mean, hey man, if I'm gonna know how to do it one day, may as well just jump on it. You know
I
what
mean, we got a few motors we have to build in the future anyway,
Yeah,
so might as well learn.
Got stuff to do, so may as well get this figured out, make sure we do it right, and when we know, we know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if it don't work, I mean, it don't work.
If it don't work,
We'll tear apart.
it could really hurt some stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, probably. So let's do this the best we can.
Yeah, we're gonna do this the best we can, and I think it's gonna work. I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine.
It's a new day, brother.
It's a new day. We're back out here working on small block 400. So last night we found that we had a crack in the rocker arms, so we did go ahead, get all of those bolted on. So now we're back out here this morning, going ahead, getting this intake cleaned up, because I think we pretty much decided that we're gonna wash it, sandblast it, hit it with some powder coats. That way it don't end up with all these stains, bro. If something does get on it, we can just wipe it off if it's powder coated.
And then we are also going to powder coat or spray paint the 2 small pieces black.
Yeah, so like our little filler neck here, and as well as the little tie down for the distributor on the back, we'll just hit that with some black and it'll look really good. But man, that's the only thing. The only complaint that I have with these aluminum intakes is that, you know, if you touch them, it leaves that mark and you can't get it off. Not you know, in an easy way anyway.
Yeah.
So if we hit it with some powder and then it flows out, just take a nice little rag, just wipe it off, get it good and clean.
Should hit it with some of that world's greatest glass cleaner, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Shine it up.
That spray away glass cleaner, man, it'll take it right off. But so yeah, once we do that, we get this thing on there, the motor's gonna be, I mean, pretty much complete aside from getting those rockers put on.
Yeah, which we've already got those ordered, the
We
new
ordered
ones.
them. They're supposed to be here sometime between tomorrow and like the next day, something like that. But we went ahead and we ordered the Comp Pro Magnum rocker arms 1.6s. So this is a 1.5 ratio. And the cam that I have in here is the 285B from Comp, and so the intake lift was I think 532 and the exhaust lift was 555. I did the math, and going from the 1.5 rocker to the 1.6 is going to take my intake lift from 532 up to I think it was like 565 or somewhere in there, and then it'll take the exhaust lift from 555 up to like 596 or something. So this joker is going to be breathing so much better with those new rockers.
It should be, you know, pushing pretty good.
Yeah, it'll definitely do a little bit better. So as long as it doesn't create any clearance issues or anything like that, we'll be good. And it hopefully it'll wake this thing up just a little bit.
And then we got to polish out the valve covers too.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. But yeah, well, I mean, we're getting to the point where we're kind of buttoning up this motor, and that way we can kind of move on to some other things and get this thing ready to go back in the car. Because once we set it back in the car, then we get those new rockers on, get those adjusted, we'll get this joker busted off.
I
It looks brand new.
Too bad, brother. I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, there's a few minor issues with the powder coat, but it's all gonna be covered
I'm
up.
not going to zoom in on it either.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Move your hands.
fine.
Everybody's got to see it.
There was some dust down there.
Yeah, we didn't clean it off too well, but
No.
it's gonna be covered up
It's
by.
gonna be covered. We should have done that, but we didn't. But it's all right. It's all right. It's starting to look pretty good from the front, from the sides. Looks pretty decent. But there's one other problem.
What is it?
The valve covers are disgusting.
They are disgusting. They are quite disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. So, if you remember, since we had water in the oil and all that, man, look how gross the inside of these look. You see that?
Yeah, they're kind of grody.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. So we're going to clean those up. But also, the more important part is the outside, the part that people's going to see.
Yeah.
So it's tarnished and stuff. But we picked up some stuff that we think is going to actually clean these things up and hopefully make them shiny again.
And this thing is kind of... Here, open it up.
It's really weird. It's really weird. It's just that.
Yeah, it's literally felt with the chemical or whatever is in it.
Looks like they went to Lowe's, cut some stuff off of some insulation, and just stuffed it in there and said, we're going to sell it as aluminum polish.
And that stuff was fairly cheap, too. It was like,
It's like
15,
17
yeah,
bucks for
17
that,
bucks.
yeah. So, anyway, I don't know. Hopefully this works like it's supposed to. It's really disgusting. It's like oily when you touch it. So, we're going to put on some gloves, clean these things up, give them a wipe, and then we're going to put them on here. Once we get those jokers on, man, this thing's going to be pretty much ready to sit in the car.
Yeah, we're just going to marry it up to the transmission.
That's right.
Put it in there, get the header. We need to clean all this up on the headers itself.
We will. But
And then
that's okay.
get all that put in there and then get everything else. Actually, we got to do that stuff, too.
We got to do that. But it's fine. It's fine. It's looking good. Super happy with the progress we're making. That's just one step closer to actually getting this thing to the track. Making another pass before we tear it down again.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully
6 passes and 4 teardowns.
Yeah, hopefully this is the last time. Because, I mean, we've pretty much addressed everything. I know we had said we were going to go ahead and try to get this thing started with the issue with that rocker. But, honestly, they're going to be here in a couple of days. So, as soon as they get here, we'll just throw them on. And then we'll start working toward actually firing this thing. So, it's all good.
Let's get to work on the valve covers. It looks pretty.
Does look good. It's really good. It's not exactly polished, but I'll take it. Because this joker looks pretty clean.
It does. It actually looks pretty good, brushed aluminum as well.
If only we could just throw it in the car now, just go racing, you know?
Unfortunately, you know that can't happen.
It can't happen. We gotta have some rocker arms. They'll be here in a couple days. But that's all right, because the motor is together. It is ready to sit back down in the car. We've just got a couple things to address over here, like this Bobo brake line that I thought was a really good idea.
The Bobo brake line, the Bobo starter solenoid.
Yeah, that's broke. Gotta put a starter solenoid on it. Gotta run those new transmission lines. I'm gonna put this stuff in some wire loom, make it look a little cleaner and all that. But after we get done with it, man, this thing's gonna be like just perfect, man.
It's gonna be going clappity clap, you know.
Sweet. Alright, dude. So we got brake lines in. Looks good and clean on the back side of that cross member. We don't have that monstrosity running across the firewall.
The hand bent lines that he did.
Terrible. So I'm probably still gonna redo these because honestly, these are pretty awful. That looks bad.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna end up rerunning those, but we can do that pretty much anytime because right now we just needed to get what was gonna go under the motor so we didn't have any issues.
Yeah, so once we get that in there, all that can be done after the fact.
Yeah. So now I guess really about the only thing to do is put that sucker in there so we can see all that shininess in there.
Yep, so we'll get that married to that. Actually, we put the transmission lines on that before we put it in.
Yes, so we'll go ahead and bring that over here. We'll get it bolted to the engine, and then we'll go ahead and we'll cut that steel braided line, get it fit on those AN fittings. We'll leave it super, super long so that once we put the transmission back in there, or the radiator back in there, then we can get the length that we want, run it how we want to run it, and then everything will look good.
Yeah, so that way everything will be tidy, look professional.
Yep.
You know, so when people decide they want to look at the shiny new motor,
Yeah, dude.
that everything else looks presentable.
Actually, before we stick the motor in there, you think we should roll the car forward and clean this frame up? Because it does have like some oil and some transmission fluid and stuff all over it.
Where's that? Where's that?
What?
Where's that?
What?
The glass cleaner.
Oh, spray.
No, oh yeah, it's right here. Why'd you use that?
Perfect.
World's best glass cleaner.
It is. It's fantastic.
It's great stuff. We
But
actually,
now that I think about it, I think that's what we're going to do. We're probably going to roll this thing right there, hit it with some degreaser, hit it with a pressure washer, and then we'll just roll it right back in.
no, we just gotta move all of that.
All of it. So much.
So much stuff in the way. Everything's always in our way.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, it's going to be worth it. We get to see shiny in there.
Yeah. Well, let's get to work. Look like a brand new motor in this thing, dude.
It looks good sitting down in there, boy.
It does. It does. It's all shiny now.
It does. It's clean. Got the powder coated intake that looks semi-okay.
Here, I'll block it out.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go. We got these valve covers cleaned up. They're not perfect, but I actually am digging that brushed look in there. But it just looks overall so much cleaner sitting in
It
there.
really does. You know, we already got all the drivetrain pretty much hooked up, ready to go.
Went ahead and got the transmission cross member back in there. Got the drive shaft hooked up. The shifters hooked up. So we're done underneath the car. Got our transmission lines ran up here so we can get to those when we get ready to do all that stuff. But overall, it's starting to come together.
Yeah, now it's been a few days. It is now daytime. It has been a few days.
It has. And
But-
we've been waiting for something to get here. And man, let me tell you, these jokers look good, my dude.
They do. We did get a little peek. We did get a little peek.
I took a little peek. But one thing we did do, so there were 1.5 rockers in this thing, and so with a 1.5 rocker, the cam that's in it had a 532 lift, I think, on the intake side and a 555 on the exhaust side. So one thing that me and my papa had talked about back in the day was changing out the rocker arms and putting a set of 1.6 ratio rocker arms on this thing, which would give it about 30 more lift on each side. So I think it takes the lift on the intake side to like 565, and maybe the exhaust side was like 596. I don't remember the math exactly, but it's going to up the lift on this thing extremely, so hopefully it'll wake it up a little bit.
Yeah, and the only problem with these is they're not blue.
They're not blue.
They're not blue like
They're
these.
Not blue, but dude,
But they are
take
gorgeous.
a look at those. This is a Comp Pro Magnum, if I remember right. These jokers look sweet. They're kind of the twin to the ones that I put on the 383 and the Nova. But yeah, man, I'm super stoked about getting these things put on because that just means we're going to be that much closer to getting this car back running so we can hear it fire up again.
Yeah, so we only need to tear apart the valve covers one more time.
Take them off.
Put those on.
That's right.
And
It
then-
ain't going to take long at all.
No, and then we got some few stuff on the firewall to take care of.
A little bit of wiring cleanup, a little bit of mounting here and there, and then we got to put the distributor in, set the timing, and should be ready to fire up.
All right, let's get to work, brother.
Boy. More problems.
Aren't these supposed to be on the motor?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. More problems. See right there? That's not supposed to be like that.
No. It looks like someone was scraping on it.
Yeah,
Dude.
so come around to this side. I'll show you what's going on. So it's doing this on every one of the intake rockers. So I don't know if you can see down in there, but the intake rocker, which is that one right there, is hitting the head stud. So the head studs are bottomed out in the block and they're still a little bit too long. And so the rockers are sitting down on top of them. I knew I was having a little bit of an issue actually being able to get the valves adjusted. And I wasn't sure why, so I started looking, started investigating a little bit, and I noticed whenever I would actually tighten down the set screw here or the nut, whatever, that the roller wasn't touching the valve stem at all. So I knew something was up with that, so that's when I started looking and I realized that every single one of the intake rockers are sitting on top of the stud. So what I'm having to do now is pull each of these out and cut them off so that I have some clearance. And if you can see it right there, see, there's an intake.
Yeah.
That's sitting right there. So now we got, oh, that's still not clearing. Fantastic.
How about that?
Anyway, yeah, so I got to cut some more off. I'll take that back out. But anyway, I think it's clear on the rest of them, maybe, I hope.
Maybe.
Probably
and
not.
if we can't work with those, we have actual head studs.
Yeah,
like bolts.
I'm pretty much fixing to bite the bullet and just put head bolts in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll pull them back out, cut a little more off of them one more time. I know this one's clear because I took a bunch off this one.
It ought to be clear.
That was clear. That was clear all day.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with these though. Why are they sitting so much higher? They don't clear that one, and it's not. I mean, that's not even. I can make it work. I can just cut a little more off of them and be done.
Yeah.
But it's still. I hate it. It's aggravating. We were supposed to be way further ahead of where we are right now.
If it weren't for this issue, we'd probably already have this motor ready to fire.
The valves would be set. Distributor would be going in. Carburetor would be going back on. I don't know. If it's not one thing, it's another. But
Race car problems equals stress.
Tell you, we're gonna keep pushing through and make this work. But it sucks. It is what it is. I know this is part of it, but again, this is the first time I've ever put head studs in here. I don't know why they're too long. It makes no sense. They were for a small block. Unless these heads have been milled more than I knew they had, I don't know. I have no idea. But it is what it is. Sucks, but we're gonna pull them back out, cut them down some more. Should have checked that, didn't, but whatever. We'll check it and then cut them. Hopefully it works. If it don't,
Head
we'll go back
bolts.
to some head bolts.
It's a sad day for these blue rockers.
It is. Bro, that was way harder than it needed to be.
I know, we've been out here for 6 hours.
We've been out here for 6 hours. But guess what?
They're in.
They're in. They're adjusted. Everything's good to go.
Motor is top dead center.
It is top dead center. So now we're ready to put the distributor in, get this joker in time, and get the exhaust on, obviously. And then I guess we'll be ready to pretty much fire it up once we put the carburetor on.
Starter solenoid too.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Because we cannot start the car without that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good catch, Hunter.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good at stuff like that.
I don't know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, I guess that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and take our distributor, get that popped in there, get those headers bolted on, and then we'll start hooking up spark plugs, and then we'll fix the starter solenoid, and then we'll see if this joker will actually try to bust off.
There's a motor in the car.
It's together. Spark plugs are in, plug wires are in. Should be close to in time. I mean, really and truly, I guess all there is to do now is to see if it'll fire.
Yeah. We are a little delirious, so it's kind of late tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty late. I'm pretty tired, but if we can get to this point, we can get this thing to crank and run. I think we'll be good to go. Hopefully, we don't have any more issues. It's got oil, everything else. Only thing we don't have is coolant hooked to it. We don't need coolant to run it for just a second.
As I say, you're going to see if it fires.
Pretty much.
The only thing that we're going to really be concerned about is the timing on it.
Yeah, so I don't know about that yet. That'll be something we kind of have to adjust once we get the radiator back in.
Yeah.
And the coolant in.
Once we get everything up here put in together, we'll be all right.
I mean, if we can kind of get it just a crank, and then I can adjust the distributor just a little bit if I need to. But aside from that, I mean, that's really all there is left is just to see if it'll fire.
So what we need to do now is put the battery charger on it, because this thing is deader than dog crap.
Yeah, dead.
It'd be dead. But yeah, we're gonna to neutral.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you?
Well, I'm nervous for you.
Oh, you're nervous for me?
Yeah, I didn't put this together. I mean, I kind of helped, but...
Considering there's a whole bunch of things I just did for the first time.
I mean, hey, it ain't no different than the square body.
It is, but... well, no, but yes.
I mean, it's a little small block. This is a Cummins. Got a mosquito on me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous.
Hey, what can go wrong?
A lot.
Yeah, you right. Fuel pump.
Fuel pump runs. Pump it, see if you got a little fuel.
Oh yeah.
Hit it a couple times. Alright, see what you do. Oh boy. Okay, she ain't doing nothing.
It turns over.
Yeah, it turns over, so there's that. It actually sounds better now. Like, I don't know.
I don't.
Maybe a little more fuel. Let's see if it'll light that.
It smells like
It's got some now.
gasoline.
It's got some now.
There seems to be an issue.
There do seem to be an issue.
Because, I mean, there's fuel pressure.
Let us see. We got fuel. That would be retarding it. Let's see if we advance it some.
That's a bad word. All right, take. I don't even know what take this is.
I don't know.
So let's try.
Got fuel.
Got fuel.
Spark.
Got spark. We did test it.
Yeah, and it's got all the air.
All the air.
All of it. So, unless it's a timing issue. But then again, the plug was completely dry. So maybe we just haven't got enough fuel down there to it yet.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a timing issue, it should still kind of fire somewhat.
It should try.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should try. Hey!
We might be 180 out.
Probably. That was loud.
We're going to just back that off a little bit.
Just a smidge. That kind of scared me.
You got fire?
No, not yet.
It's 180 out.
Leave it to you to put stuff backwards.
Well, yeah, it'd be like that. Luckily, easy fix. Easy fix. Easy fix.
Easy fix.
I'm so scared right now.
I'm so scared right now.
Oh, I'm so scared.
About tripped on 2
Send
by.
it.
All right, let's see if it catches fire.
Yeah. Be on ready.
Progress.
It burbled.
It did burble a little bit. It also...
Yeah, so we're just going to back that up a little more.
Okay. It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Well, yeah. I have seen somebody do this before.
Ooh. Something like did something down here.
It was out of the exhaust.
Backfire.
Yeah. Let's just retard that a little more. Maybe we actually Guys, again, I've not done this by myself, like, ever. So, I'm just kind of guessing here. I'm going to retard it a little bit. We'll try it. If it don't work, I'm going to advance it. And then we'll just kind of see how it goes from there.
It's trial and error at this point.
Trial and error. I
mean, what?
We're closer than we were. I was right about being 180 hours.
What are the chances of this thing catches fire?
Well, we've seen fire twice. I saw sparks there, and I just saw fire out of the exhaust. So
Did it scare you a little bit?
A little bit. I'm still pretty scared.
Why'd you start it without me recording?
My bad.
Impatient, dude.
Thought you were.
My phone was in my back pocket.
Well, yeah. It'd be like that. We're close now.
What was the issue?
The timing was all messed up. Firing order was completely wrong. Well, I guess when I switched them, I got mixed up. And anyway, we're right now. So we're going to see what this thing's going to do.
And I quote, I know what I'm doing on this part.
I thought I did.
It wants to. Yeah, it needs a little bit more fuel.
This thing is keeping me up tonight.
It's 11:47.
Yeah.
At night.
I ain't got many more minutes left in me. Oh.
Take 1,743 and a third. It's about to get loud. All right, give her a little bit more of a little oomph.
A little more. Let's try that.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That was a lot.
I just don't know, bro. I don't know where to start. Okay. Too much.
What are you trying?
Okay, no. That wasn't the right way. The coil on?
Yeah, coil's on.
Okay. Let's see what we
Okay, shut off on's on. Fuel pump. Fuel pump. Dude, that is so loud. I forgot how loud this thing was.
That was so good.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of transmission fluid on the ground. I said there might be a little bit of transmission
It's
fluid.
fine. Worth it. Worth it. Oh, it runs, brother. And we did.
Now, the only thing we have to fix now is solenoid.
Don't get that solenoid
Again.
fixed, but bro, this Joker, did you hear how fast it fired that
Oh, yeah.
What? Fired right up. It's never fired like that. It's always kind of been a slow drag, whatever, to get it to start. But dude, it fires right up now. I bet you I can hit it one more time right now. I bet you it'll fire right up. I'm not gonna run it very much. We don't have any coolant.
Yeah, we have no coolant. There's no core support, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even warm yet, so we're good. I'll just hit it and then shut it right back off. Let's see, watch.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, bro, it sounds
I mean, we did say we were going to take it to the dyno.
We did.
And-
I mean, we're gonna get it tuned up, but bro.
So we'll figure out the whole high idle thing.
Yeah, dude, that's like, it sounds so good though, man. Like, we've been working toward this for so long, like, oh, man, dude, I'm gonna lie, bro, Papa would be stoked right now.
Oh yeah.
He'd be going absolutely crazy hearing this thing run like that and sounding like that. And being, you know, getting ready to go with us to the track to run this thing and find out what it's gonna do. It's gonna be a completely different motor than when I ran it in high school. It's got more lift on the cam. It's got high-rise intake now. It never had that before. Everything's tight. I mean, it's a new motor now.
Yeah, and it looks brand new.
It does look really good sitting in here. So, dude, I am so stoked right now. Like, oh, I can run through a wall, man. Oh, it sounds so good, bro.
Yep, now we just got to fix our solenoid, get the core support on, and then just throw on the front clip.
Yeah.
And this thing will be pretty much dialed in.
It sounds insane. It sounds healthy. Like, just as soon as you hit the throttle, it'll wrap, like, it wraps that tag. Like, it sounds amazing.
Next up, track.
Next up, track, brother. Time to go make a few passes.
Oh, dyno then track.
Yeah, dyno and then track. But dude, it's time to make a few passes on this thing, see exactly what it's gonna do, and hopefully we get it to hook when we go back. Like, we've never got this car to hook, so we have no idea what it's gonna do.
Speaking of hooking.
Okay. So I told you guys we had some big news, okay? So we get to welcome our very first channel sponsor. So Alden American actually sent us a full coilover, double adjustable suspension kit for this thing. And I'm super, super excited about getting that installed. So we're gonna be doing that very, very soon, but it's gonna be an absolute game changer. Because right now, I don't have any way of adjusting the front suspension. I just have 90-10 shocks on it. So it's gonna open up a whole new, like, whole bunch of possibilities for this car.
Yeah, they sent us a whole suspension, like the whole kit,
Dude,
for free.
It's insane looking too, but can't wait to show you guys that. It's gonna be
that's gonna be a whole separate video.
Yeah, that's gonna kind of be its own thing. I'm so excited right now, dude. I'm so stoked, man. I've been waiting for this for so long, and just to hear something rumble right now, it just sounds so good. But guys, this has been an absolutely huge video for us. We're so excited. This is something we've been working on for a long time. But if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And why don't you just check out this video over here, because I know you'll like that. But we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.